There has been an attitude, and I've got to tell the truth as I see it. There has been an attitude of arrogance in high places, in politics, and in the church. Even where there are good bishops and good dioceses, there can be an arrogance. It is an occupational hazard. I've said that before, I'll say it again. It can sneak up on you. You don't mean to do it. It's not something you will to do consciously. It's something that sneaks up on you. You have authority. Power. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as the saying goes. Many of us, for many years, warned those in authority. How can this be? Stop it. And we were treated as criminals very often. Like in a case with the police. Saw the movie Serpico, based on a true story of a New York cop. You know, there was corruption. He didn't like it. He wouldn't go along with it. He blew the whistle. What was he treated like? A criminal. You know? Same thing. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. There has been a prevailing attitude for years of permissiveness, of look the other way, of arrogance. How dare you even bring it up? It says in the Bible, judge not lest you be judged. So why are you judging your brother? I got to make rational judgments, and I've got to make moral judgments. I don't want to condemn my brother. I'm not God. But if something is outrageous and in your face, it is sinful not to do something about it. Do you understand you can commit a mortal sin by collaborating with the sin of another, by enabling the sin of another, by ignoring the sin of another, by confirming the sin of another? You commit sin yourself. And many of us sat in guilty silence. And indeed, all that evil requires is that good men and women remain silent. And so the problems compounded themselves. We were beaten into a kind of submission. If you rocked the boat when you were a seminarian, they chastised you bitterly. The next time you wouldn't be too quick to open your mouth. And you were trained to shut up and go along with the program. And then you got in a parish and you wanted to preach the truth, and you wanted to tell the people, avoid evil, do good. You wanted to tell them all the things you needed to tell them. But you thought twice about it, because they said, don't rock the boat. Don't push it. And every once in a while, they made an example out of someone. And I know some of the examples. 30 years ordained, 40 years ordained. Father, we don't have an assignment for you. You talk too much. You aggravate people. We've had complaints about you. No salary. No benefits. No retirement. No health insurance. Why don't you go get married, they told one priest of 33 years, who had been unjustly accused by a psychotic woman who had a history of exactly that. And they knew it. But you see, Father was a very faithful, solid, moral preacher. And he galled them. They said, we have no assignment for you. You're finished. Why don't you go get married? That's what they said. Father drives a taxi cab at the age of 70. We could have cleaned up the house ourselves. Do you remember a certain example of a certain little nun with a big mouth who got in an argument with a certain person who had authority in the church? And at a certain meeting of bishops and cardinals, one of them said, we got to get rid of the little nun with the big mouth. We can't have little nuns with big mouths criticizing bishops and cardinals. And another bishop spoke up and said, oh yes, I agree. However, I have here a list of 157 bishops and cardinals who openly defy the teaching of the Holy Father, and I say let's get rid of them first.